Here's a review I should have done weeks ago. When I was reading up on The Jungle Book for The Book Was Better, I also read the novelization of the recent Disney remake. Titled The Jungle Book, The Strength of the Wolf is the Pack, the book read as a much more faithful adaptation to Kipling's original story than the 1967 cartoon. I guess that means the movie itself had some promise in this regard as well, but since I haven't seen it yet, I can't properly judge. But we're here to review a book, so let's forget all that. Published in March of 2016, The Jungle Book, The Strength of the... Okay, the title really is too long. Anyway, the book tells very much the same story as the original book and Disney animated movie, but still has room for a few distinct differences. Mowgli is raised by wolves in the jungles of India when Shere Khan, the tiger, returns to hunt the boy. The wolves in Bagheera decide that getting Mowgli out of the jungle into the nearest village would be for the best, but there are several stumbles along the way, usually by encountering new animals. That's the same, but what's different? Well, a few things actually. To start, though the central plot is still get Mowgli out of the jungle, it tells a different story than the 67 cartoon. The order that Mowgli meets new animals is different, the interactions each animal has with each other is different, and the jungle as a whole has a different feel. For example, starting off, the jungle is going through a drought and water is very limited. So much so that there's only one watering hole. So, citing the law of the jungle, the animals all agree not to attack each other at the watering hole. This creates a very civil society in what's otherwise a very dangerous environment. They may be animals, but they're not... animals? Wait, that didn't come out right. Either way, I thought this was a good approach to nature. Animals aren't inherently good or evil, they're more neutral than anything. Well, except for Shere Khan, but he's a special kind of douche canoe. The book also delved into wolf society, similar to how the original Kipling story did, expanding on their laws slightly, which made sense. After all, the narrative had to establish who Mowgli was to the wolves and why he would be allowed to stay as long as he did. I don't mean to conjure the 67 cartoon again, but if you saw that, then you have a pretty good grasp on who the characters are. Bagheera wants to protect Mowgli and actually has an early fight scene with the tiger to do so. Baloo wants food, King Louie wants fire, and Kaa wants to eat Mowgli. For some reason though, Kaa seems to know how Mowgli got lost in the jungle years ago and reveals this to the boy. This is never explained, leaving me to believe that Kaa is really some lurker snake always watching from the trees, much like Ceiling Cat. However, the one who got the biggest change was Hathi and the elephants. No longer some joke of an army, the elephants are seen almost like deities, who helped form the jungle and are respected by the other animals. Also, we never see them talk, they just get this elevated godhood status as they march along and bulldoze trees out of their way. Odd. And then there's what happened to Mowgli. In the 67 cartoon, Mowgli was really kind of a lucky idiot. Here though, he's still stubborn and foolish, but has a lot more ingenuity. He actively creates rudimentary tools to ease life for himself and his family, something that's looked down upon by the other wolves because it just isn't their way. However, Mowgli persists in using these tools, meaning he can actually get out of trouble on his own, something the movie Mowgli only did once. This Mowgli is still pretty lucky though, and does need to be saved often enough, but it's good to see some actual character developing within the pages. The story is told from a third-person omniscient perspective, mostly following Mowgli, but jumping to other characters every now and then to build the tension. I know I should stick to reviewing the book as much as I can and not compare it to anything else, but really, that was the most fun for me. Seeing how they improved over the old cartoon and made a stronger story was something I looked forward to. Each new interaction Mowgli had with a new animal was familiar, but different enough that I was left curious to see exactly how the scene would play out. What we got was a much stronger story than the cartoon, which also had a few nods to the original Kipling stories. The book was clearly meant for a younger audience, but it wasn't too bad. Overall, The Jungle Book, The Strength of the Wolf is the Pack, is pretty good. Not a bad time to be had for sure. You might enjoy it more if you've seen the 67 movie, but kids might enjoy it all the same. So, have you read the book? What did you think? If not, do you want to read it now? Whatever your thoughts, comment below and stay tuned for more.